Hello, data enthusiasts. Welcome once again to my YouTube channel. So we'll continue from our previous video on three-dimensional array manipulation. Okay, so let's comment this out and uncomment this. So we are in C. So question C says print out only elements in column 3 from all tables. Print out only elements in column 3. So where is our column 3? Let's go back to our array. So here is our column 0, column 1, column 2, column 3. So what we are printing are elements on column 3. So we are dealing with the column here. So we are printing, we are not interested in this, we're not interested in this index, we're interested in the last index, which is our column. Take note, this is table or depth, row, and column. So we're dealing with the last index. So here we are. So we're looking at elements in column 3. So we are to select 3 and it will stop at 3. Take note, it doesn't take into consideration the last number. If I put 5 here, it's going to print out column 3 and column 4. But since it's only column 3 we want, so we put column 3 to 4. So it's going to print out only column 3. So let's run the code to see our result. Okay, so as usual, this is our original array. So let's look at our results. Column 3 for table 1 is 4 and 3. Here we have 4 and 3. For table 2, 6 and 0, 6 and 0. And for table 3, 3 and 4, 3 and 4. So that is how this works. So we comment this out and we uncomment this. So question D says, print out the number 9 in table 1. Print out the number 9 in table 1. The first question is, where is table 1? And is there 9 in table 1? If there's 9 in table 1, on what row and what column is the 9 located at this point? Now we are trying to access a specific cell on the table. A specific cell on the table. So number 9 in table 1. So let's go to table 1. Where is our table 1? This is table 0, this is table 1 here. So where is 9? Okay, this is 9. So if this is 9, so what row is table 9 located? It's located on row 1. This is row 0, this is row 1. What column is 9 located? It's located on column 2. This is column 0, 1, 2. So number 9 is located on row 1, column 2. Row 1, column 2. So it's located in, let's write it here. It's located in row 1, column 2. That is where it's located. So taking note of this, how are we going to reference row 1, column 2, table 1? So we're starting with the table. It says table 1, so we put 1:2. So it's printing only table 1. Now row 1, so since it's row 1, we reference number 1 and it's stopping at 2. That is, it's going to print out only row 1 for table 1. Now it's on column 2, so we select 2, which is going to print out 2 to 3, means it's going to print out only 2. So let's run our code to see our results. So we can see our result here says 9. So now this is only one element, 9, but you can see it has 3 brackets, 3 square brackets, telling you that even though you are having only one element, this one element is still in a 3-dimensional format. So let's change the number from 9 to another number so that we can see how it works. So this is the 9 we're talking about here. Let's make it 89 and run our code. Our result should be 89. You can see that is the 89 here. So anything you change it to, you'll still have the right result. So let's run it. 589. You can see it, 589. So that is how this one works. Okay, so we comment this out and we uncomment this. Okay, so we're having something interesting here. It says print out the number 7 on table 2. This is the last number of the whole database or array. Number 7 on table 2. Now, where is our table 2? Table 0, 1, 2. This is table 2. Number 7 on table 2. This is number 7. This is the last element in the whole database, which is also the last element in this table. So take note of that. It's the last element in this table and also the last element in the database, because this table is the last table in the database. So here we are. Okay, so now this is the first way I decided to reference it, and this is the second way I decided to reference it. So we're going to look at the two different ways you can reference it. So let's look at the first one. Now, table 2. Now this is table 2 here. Take note, it's the last table, so you can decide to reference it as 2 to nothing. That is 2 dot nothing. Why? Because that's the last table. There's no other information after that. Now that is also the last row. We have row 0 and row 1. That is also the last row. Here it is. It's the last row too of that last table. So last table, last row, and the last number. Now, where you put -1 to nothing tells you, hey, extract the last information there. If I put -2, it's going to extract 4. That is what it's going to extract. So if I put -2, it's going to extract 4, and so on. So let's run this code to see how it goes. So you can see 7 has been printed out. So let's put -2 so I can see how it works. So you can see 4 and 7. So it starts from the -2 number, that is counting from back to front, that is 4 to 7. So it will start from the -2 number, which is 2, and print every other thing, every remaining thing. So now let's look at the other way to reference the same element in the array. So we comment this out and let's uncomment this. So take note, is the last table, that is table 2. So we have 2, no other table again. There is on row 1, this is row 1, no other row again, and we say column 4, and there's no other column again, because that is the fourth column. Let's look at it. Column 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So reference the last. So let's see our results. So we can see these are 7. That is the last value in the array. Okay, so we comment this out. So I'll look at the next one. So we're looking at F now, question F. So question F says, let's uncomment this out. So question F says, print out the first element in the database or in the array. The first element. So what is our first element? Our first element is 3. 3. So let's see how we referenced it. So we're referencing it. Take note. This is table 0, row 0, column 0. So that's why we're having all zeros. So 0, that is table 0, row 0, column 0. So let's see our results. So you can see 3. So our result is 3. So the last example I'm going to be giving, let's comment this out, is this. So print out the last table. So just say -1. So the -1 prints out the last table. So let's see. So you can see our last table 4513, 4513, 802, 803. So that is that. So now let's look at array reshaping. Array reshaping is one of the important concepts also in deep learning. I said earlier on, if you have a one-dimensional data set, then you must reshape it to 3D. If you have a two-dimensional data set, that is row and column, you have to reshape it to a 3D dimensional data set. Okay, so let's look at the array reshaping. So this is array 1, which is a one-dimensional array. And we have array 2, which is a two-dimensional array. Now, these arrays will be converting them, that is reshaping them to a three-dimensional array. So let's look at the first one, which is this array 1. Let's manipulate it. When we are done with manipulating array 1, then we'll look at the array 2. So let's look at the first question. It says reshape the array 1 to 2D, that is two dimension, having 2 rows and 3 columns. So we have 2 rows, 3 columns. So let's run it and see our results. So this is our array 1. Sorry, let me run it again. So this is our array 1, and this is the result. 2 rows, so this is row 1, row 2, and 3 columns, column 1, 2, 3. So it's well done. Okay, so let's look at this next question. It says reshape to 3D, that is our one-dimensional array. We are reshaping it to 2 tables, that is 2 depth, 1 row, and 3 columns. So let's run it to see what we have. 2 tables, so this is 1, 2 tables. Each table has 1 row, so this table 1 has only 1 row, this table 2 has only 1 row, and 3 columns, so this is 1, 2, 3. So let's look at our second array, which is a two-dimensional array. That's what we'll be printing out. So we want to reshape it to 3 tables, 1 row, and 2 columns. 3 tables, 1 row, and 2 columns. So let's see our result. 3 tables, 1, 2, 3, each having one row and 2 columns. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So these are results for that. So array reshaping is very, very important. Follow my YouTube channel, subscribe, and stay up to date with latest videos, as we'll be looking at LSTM in details.